So these are my Royal Rumble 2026 predictions, and I would say that this show has not been built that well, but still, it's the Royal Rumble. You are excited, and probably you can say there are cases to be made, and there is hint, a hint of like, okay, maybe that person can win that match, maybe that person can win that match. There is a sense of unpredictability here. I think last year there was also a sense of unpredictability, but people were like only like two people can win, either John Cena or CM Punk. But it was Jey Uso that won. And even with the Drew Sammy stuff, like let's start with that. Like people will probably say that Drew should win. It's his first defense. He would get heat from it also. It's in Saudi. And yeah, for me, I would go with that also. But it's that then you have to wait for another year because the WrestleMania is going to happen in Saudi next year. But then many things can change in a year. Will circumstances can change? What if Sammy gets injured? What if someone else gets injured? Maybe Sammy is not that hot at that time. And maybe you just want to get a pop on Sammy, maybe give the title back to Drew again. I don't agree with it, but I think Drew is going to win. I do want to see if it's going to be clean or not because I do think this it may not be clean because the way that they've been pushing Trick Williams, I think they will have Trick interfere in this match and cost Sammy, and he will also get major heat from that, and maybe then Sammy returns in the Rumble and maybe takes out Trick Williams and gets thrown out quickly. I think that's what's going to happen. But I think it's going to be Drew McIntyre is going to win. It's going to be a good, solid first defense. Like I think, especially the crowd reaction is going to be really great. Like, do you know it's happening in a temporary stadium? Even though we have seen temporary stadiums like in the USA Cricket World Cup that happened, but this one got made in like 15 days or something. I don't know. If it is a temporary stadium, I would be very cautious about going there. I don't know what can happen there. Going to the next match, AJ Styles versus Gunther. If AJ Styles loses, his career is over. And I think he loses. Because even the things that they have done in the past week, him going for the one last time for the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk, him having that last match, the match that they should have had at WrestleMania 34, his match against Shinsuke Nakamura as Saturday Night's main event, it just makes sense because if AJ defeats Gunther, like you have just squandered Gunther's momentum of him retiring John Cena. And even if AJ wins, like okay, like he's gonna have a retirement run, and who is gonna like defeat him for that? If you want to have him win, you should not have put this feud anyways together. I do think it's going to be Gunther because probably they were like his contract is ending in February. We already have someone like a Gunther, which we have trademarked the career killer thing. So let's give him another thing. And I do think maybe this is AJ Styles' last match overall because he feels very happy in WWE. Like I don't think he ever had that inclination to ever go to AEW because he got that money from WWE and he thinks that he's satisfied. Like that guy since his debut has always got a match at WrestleMania. He has always got a match at WrestleMania uh, uh, since his debut in the WWE. 10 years constantly, you know how many like important people have missed manias just because there were no like spots left. AJ always gets that spot. You think, yeah, his gimmick, his booking has been a little bit up down. Like you will have him in a feud for the WWE Championship and then he will just be off TV. Sometimes injury, but sometimes he's just off. He will get a tag run, but then he'll be off TV again. Then he'll return back. He'll be in a tournament, which he'll be like this third most important person. Then he'll be off TV again. So it's like he has been a good hand for them, and for the first 2 years, he was the guy. He was the one running SmackDown. Like, probably as Kevin Owens' run was mainly about Jericho rather than him, so AJ was the guy in WWE. And they have always trusted him with like everything. Like, they trusted him with Omos, they gave him Dragon Lee, they gave him Logan Paul. That match didn't really work, but they trust him. They gave him LA Knight as well, and they made something of it. So I think this is a fitting end. I don't mind that Gunther is ending AJ Styles' career. I just hope that they could have started this feud maybe a month earlier. Maybe you could have done this stuff, but like the go home angle that happened, like Gunther giving that backstage interview, that feels like a week before the go home show angle for a match. I think even if it had like a month build, I think it would not have felt that much rushed. I think he'll probably have a match at SmackDown. I can see maybe answering Carmelo Hayes' challenge for the United States Championship, or maybe he faces Ilya Dragunov in a match. I just hope that they give. I, I just hope that they give AJ time at the Rumble, him and Gunther. I would have liked it better if it would have been the main event, but it's the Rumble, so it's not going to be the main event. I think the right call would be to have Gunther win, and I think probably I is AJ going to tap out, or is AJ going to uh, pass out? I don't think he's gonna smile and tap out, but I think they'll probably do the fake tap out scene. Maybe AJ will get him in a calf crush. I do want to see if AJ taps out or if he passes out. But this is big for Gunther because I also see Gunther probably winning here, then going into the Rumble, him being all cocky that I ended AJ Styles' career, and probably getting eliminated by Brock Lesnar because of that. And that way you can set up Brock and Gunther for Mania, though it is kind of confusing that if Brock Lesnar is probably going to have his retirement match at Minneapolis, Minnesota, and SummerSlam. So do you have Brock Lesnar defeat Gunther at Mania? But then doesn't that diminish? And I think their match at Mania would have higher stakes than even retirement match against Brock, because the novelty would still be there at WrestleMania, but it won't be there at SummerSlam. So that is also going to be a booking conundrum that they have to get out of about what they're gonna do with it. And I do hope if he retires Brock Lesnar, he has to win either the World Heavyweight or WWE Championship, and maybe Obafemi takes it off of him at next year's WrestleMania. I do hope that happens. Now, going to the two Rumbles, which is the Women's Rumble and the Men's Rumble. I do think the Women's Rumble, there are like two choices that I think are at the top and are going to win. Like, people saying Tiffany Stratton's name, it's like, weren't you the same guys who were like complaining that Tiffany has been champion for so long and she keeps facing the same two people? That's what's gonna happen if she wins it again. And like, I'm kind of like tired of Tiffany Stratton in the women's championship division, even though she has been off for a break. I do hope, yeah, she's gonna have a return. I think she's probably gonna get involved with Jade again because she got squashed. But I don't think she's gonna win. I think who is going to win is going to be Liv Morgan or Bianca Belair. I think it kind of makes sense for either of them to win. I would have preferred that Bianca wins this and Liv wins the Elimination Chamber, because what, you're gonna have Bianca win the Elimination Chamber twice in 2 years. But I think Liv's story is that she has not won a Rumble. She has come close so many times. She has been an Iron Woman. She has been a runner-up a bunch of times, and she has come back. And she's the leader of the Judgment Day. She's running in hot. You just had her taking a couple of losses. Also, it feels like she's on the precipice of again being like one of the top women in the WWE, and I think have her win the Rumble and have her challenge Stephanie Walker at Mania, because also they have. I don't think Raquel is beating Stephanie because they have too much investment in Stephanie. This title reign may not have gone the way that they thought it would, but like them expanding into South America, them using her as a symbol for that Chile and Mexico and all that. Like Liv and Stephanie, I think this is going to be like a marquee match at Mania. I do think if Liv wins at WrestleMania, which she's probably going to win, I think Raquel and maybe Roxanne, they both turn on Liv after WrestleMania. I think that happens, turning the Liv Morgan face, because it's also going to be fun to see that wh- who is this Liv Morgan face character going to be, because last time when she was a face there was a problem that there was a section of fans who really liked her, but apart from that she really didn't have any like meat in her character, and that's what actually caused her to become a heel and actually like become essentially what she is right now, one of the top stars in the women's division and in whole of WWE. And I think probably some shenanigans is going to happen that inadvertently Liv eliminates the Judgment Day members, or maybe she does straight up eliminates, but it's like they get back together because it's like, okay, it's the Rumble, I had to do that and all that. So I think it's going to happen. I think Bianca's straight path is to Jade Cargill. Like they have been wanting to do this match for so much time, and Jade clearly needs a feud where she can sink her teeth into, where someone can bring out the best in her, be it with character work or in ring work. I think this Jordan Grace stuff is probably short term. I think Jordan's proper destination is going to be, I think probably she's going to defeat Julia for the US title. Not at Mania, because that title's not going to make Mania any day. Probably the show before, the SmackDown before Mania, I can see Jordan Grace winning that US title. I think Tiffany may be involved with Jade maybe until the Elimination Chamber. Maybe they do like a triple threat. Maybe Jade defends her title against Tiffany Stratton again and ending the chapter on her. I do think Tiffany is also going to get involved in the United States Championship division because she's a face, and I do think you need someone like a Tiffany Stratton there feuding with Julia, Jordan, Kiana, and there. So the prestige of the title increase, and also that I think the most eliminations, I think they're probably going to give that spot to Lash Legend, but I think Jordan Grace is going to be a close second there also. They'll give her a good showing there because they also want to build her up for Jade Cargill as well. I do think the Iron Woman, who's going to be the Iron Woman? I think maybe it's going to be someone like an Alexa or Charlotte, maybe Bailey, Lyra, Valkyria. But the thing is, half of this Royal Rumble is the tag team division. So a lot of fissures are going to happen in the tag team division, and many are, I think, are going to straight up break. I do want to see that Charlotte Alexa stuff. Like, do they break up at the Rumble? Because I think it is the ripe time to do like a proper Charlotte face run, and Alexa Bliss as a heel with no spooky stuff. That's an interesting dynamic to see, and you need the women's division on both rosters, be it mid card or main event, need some of these women to come out of the tag team division and go into the singles division. I think surprises probably Trish Stratus. I think Laying Lee will show up, the TNA Knockouts champion, and probably Paige. I think Paige will show up if it's like a long term appearance or it's like just a one night thing. Because now that AJ Lee is there, you have some stuff to do. You can have like an AJ Lee Paige feud as well. Maybe after Mania, you can have like an AJ Lee and Paige tag team run as well. Also, you have stuff for Paige to do. I think especially now that there are mid card titles there, you can have these legends who you do not think are at the World Championship division and just put them in that mid card. So that these veterans, they can help other women get over. And I think you're gonna have like the vision version that the Judgment Day is gonna run amok in the Rumble also until like Rhea, Io Sky, like these all get them figured out. And I think probably AJ Lee is gonna come. She's gonna eliminate Becky Lynch. That way they can set up their IC Championship match at Mania. Yeah, apart from that, yeah, I think that is what happens. Maybe we see an Ivy Nile again. She has been out for a while also. Yeah, I think Liv is gonna win. I think maybe they have Liv and Bianca in the last two. and Liv eliminates Bianca to win. That way Liv wins the Rumble. It's also going to be like fun to see because they're gonna have to coordinate a lot. The women have to coordinate a lot so that their gears do not match because they're gonna be dressed up as Power Rangers. So it will be like sad. I'm sad for them. It will be fun to see the different designs on them. Now going on to the men's Royal Rumble. I think there are guys that you can say that them winning makes sense. Like Gunther winning, it makes sense. Like he just retired John Cena, he retired Goldberg. He's probably gonna retire AJ Styles. Give him like a Royal Rumble win. He can go after CM Punk again. He already has a story with Drew McIntyre. That Drew McIntyre just cannot get the job done against someone like a Gunther. So you have stuff there, but I don't think that's gonna happen because I think he's probably gonna go after Brock Lesnar. Apart from that, Braun Breaker, he just lost to CM Punk. I do think they did a good angle with him, like almost killing Pierce. But the only problem is that I do think his stocks have gone a little bit down, and the excitement of him being in a world championship match because you did that Punk match at the January like the season premiere of Raw this year. So it's like the value of that match has went down. We already seen Braun Breaker and that he lost. In a way, a Rumble win can reinvigorate a star and especially can bring him up a level where he has gone down a little. But the only problem there is CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. Like maybe it was like a Mania level match before, but now it's like we have already seen it. But that didn't stop them from doing Gunther versus Jey Uso. And if you win a Rumble, that doesn't necessarily mean that you main event. Like Jey Uso and Gunther opened the show. So there's nothing in that say that they can't do that. And I think Braun Breaker, if you have him win, I think it's the right call. I will support it because it's like, yeah, this is our guy. This is going to be our guy for the future, and he is the Royal Rumble winner. And you show the world because Royal Rumble is your most watched event internationally, even more than WrestleMania. Like, show that this is going to be our guy for the future. Maybe maybe him and Roman Reigns go to the last two, and he eliminates Roman Reigns. Because last time, remember, Braun speared Roman, but in the end, Roman got the better of Braun and he eliminated Braun. This time, maybe Roman gets the spear on Braun, but Braun gets the better of him and eliminates him from the Rumble. I think the Iron Man is probably going to be Cody because I think he's probably going to enter earlier. I think it will be before 10. He's going to enter before 10 and he's going to be like do the Iron Man gimmick. I think probably in the end, because he's too involved with Jacob Fatu, maybe someone like a Roman or maybe a Braun Breaker will eliminate them because they're too busy with each other. I but I think if that happens, like is the final four Roman, Jacob, Cody, and Braun? I think the final four will probably be Roman, Braun Breaker, Cody, and one of Brock or Obafemi. I think those are going to be your final four. I don't think Gunther makes it to the end. I think the Brock Lesnar stuff will happen with him. I think Kit Wilson will have a fun appearance. Probably Matt Cardona will eliminate him, continuing their rivalry. I think Chad Gable will return here. And I do think the safe option and the option that people have been going on for months is Roman Reigns because if Seth Rollins is, I do think I won't mind Roman Reigns winning if Seth Rollins is returning because if Seth Rollins return, he can cause the Vision's rampage in the Rumble to stop and probably eliminate them. And that can set up Braun versus Seth at WrestleMania. Then you can actually go to the original plan that you had, which was Braun beating Roman eventually for the world title at SummerSlam. You can have Roman win the Rumble, go on to defeat Punk at Mania, then go on to SummerSlam and have Braun take the World Heavyweight Championship from Roman Reigns. So you are gone back to the original plan. It's just that instead of Seth Rollins, Roman is facing CM Punk. I think the only thing is because if you have Roman win and Braun doesn't have Seth Rollins, what does Braun Breaker do at Mania? they can always do a triple threat. Like that hasn't stopped them from doing anything. They can easily have Roman, Braun, and Punk in a triple threat, but it's just like they have to do a lot of shenanigans for that, because I don't think it has been received very well when like a Royal Rumble winner has another person added there. The feud was good. Eventually, the match was great, like the Roman Edge and Daniel Bryan match. But people were pissed when Daniel Bryan at the start was added to that match. So, and especially when Roman versus Punk has been a dream match for a while, and it was kind of like supposed to happen last year, but they went with Roman, Punk, and Rollins, and it was great. But that is the thing, like uh, if Seth Rollins is back, I don't mind Roman Reigns winning, because you still have a marquee match for your next star in Braun Breaker. He can defeat Seth Rollins, maybe win the King of the Ring, and go after Roman Reigns. But if he doesn't, you have to do a lot of shenanigans to maybe make a triple threat. And if you're not making it a triple threat, then you're just like, then again, start bushes for your young stars. He may not be able to recover to that level again. So I think it's important. What I personally would like would have either Braun Breaker or Oba Femi win. Like Oba Femi, like they have shown him as a destroyer in all his packages. Then this week it was like Oba Femi coming to the Royal Rumble. I think Oba will probably get the spot. Like he's gonna eliminate a lot of people, probably the most eliminations thing, and maybe what they eliminate him is maybe the person he's gonna face at WrestleMania. Maybe that person eliminates him from the Rumble from like the back, throws him outside, or like bunch of people, like a bunch of main eventers come, like they give him all his finishers, and then they all team together to throw him out. That way, that can work. But man, Obafemi, under 30, first time on the main roster, comes, wins the Royal Rumble, goes after Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, and wins the WWE Championship. I think the only problem is there is that what WWE is planning is Drew, Cody, and Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu is another guy who is a younger person. He's what, 30 to 33? He's not that old. And I think they're gonna stick to it. Drew, Cody, Jacob, night two main event. And if they're gonna have Drew, Cody, Jacob as night two main event, they're gonna have like a big money marquee match as night one main event. And I see Roman and Punk being that. Even though if they have no Seth Rollins, it's gonna harm someone like a Braun Breaker. I think Roman is gonna win, because they have not had a good 2025. They had a lot of backlash with the Jey Uso thing. A lot of casuals are going to be watching. Many people didn't like 2025 opening the year with someone like a Roman winning, which everyone likes. I think may help them get that, casual trust back that many people had with Triple H, which I see on YouTube. Like many Indian like film reviewers, or they watched WWE, even they didn't like 2025, but just they don't post content about it. Like Roman Reigns winning, I think can make a lot of them people happy, and especially our most popular guy winning. So yeah, I think Roman is probably winning. I do think this Royal Rumble is going to be very, like, I think it's because of the unpredictability. It's because they have not promoted it at all. They've not really promoted it at all. So that has kind of made it more unpredictable, but I don't know if that's a good thing, because we are thinking it's a good thing because you have such a stacked roster. If you didn't have such a stacked roster, like in 2010, 2011, like you would have been fuming, because even last year we had a lot of angles going in, like the CM Punk Cody stuff, like even the Roman Reigns Seth Rollins stuff. So there were things going on there, and that made last year's build up and the show much more special. But I am excited for it. So what are your predictions? Tell me in the comment section. What do you think about my predictions? Tell me in the comment section. If you like this type of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share it with those who do. My social media accounts, which are my Twitter /X account and my Instagram account, links are in the description, so go follow me on that. My UPI ID link, which is sharpboy@okicc, is also in the description. So go donate any amount of money which you can, which can help me make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for today. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.